I'm Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and I'm honored to serve Washington's 7th Congressional District in the House of Representatives, where I also serve as chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. And I'm so proud to have introduced the WISE Act with Congresswoman Schakowsky and Congressman Espaillat and Panetta. This legislation will protect immigrant survivors of domestic violence, human trafficking, and gender-based violence. Survivors of gender-based violence, child abuse, human trafficking, and other crime must be able to come forward without facing the fear of detention or deportation. This isn't just about immigration reform. It's about the safety and the well-being of communities across our country and ensuring that all survivors are able to access the protections intended by the Violence Against Women Act. Immigrant women are particularly vulnerable to domestic violence, and with this bill, we are reiterating our commitment to protect immigrant survivors, to empower them to seek help, and to ensure that their safety is not tied up with their ability to stay in this country. This legislative action would not be possible without each of you on the ground organizing in our communities. So thank you for all the work that you're doing, and know that I am right alongside you every step of the way.
Hi, I'm Grace Wong, and I'm the Director of Policy at the Asian Pacific Institute on Gender-Based Violence. And I'm one of the co-chairs of the Alliance for Immigrant Survivors. The Alliance for Immigrant Survivors is a network of advocates and allies dedicated to defending and advocating for policies that ensure immigrant survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and other gender-based abuses have access to life-saving protections.
Right now, we're supporting the Working for Immigrant Safety and Empowerment Act, otherwise known as WISE, introduced by Representative Pramila Jayapal.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Rambo, Executive Director of ASISTA, also one of the co-chairs of the Alliance for Immigrant Survivors. WISE would extend critical immigration benefits to immigrant survivors. This bill is a huge step forward towards justice for immigrant survivors with various types of immigration relief, including those who are VAWA self-petitioners, T and U visa applicants, and special immigrant juveniles. WISE lifts the U visa cap and makes the U visa program more accessible, prevents deportation or detention of immigrant survivors with pending immigration cases, requires issuance of work authorization within 180 days of application, and allows immigrant survivors with pending cases to be eligible for critical federal public benefits and no longer subject to the 5-year bar. We're excited to tell you more about why this bill is critically important for immigrant survivors and what you can do to help.
Hi, I'm Archie Piatti, CEO of the Tahirih Justice Center, another co-chair of the Alliance for Immigrant Survivors. WISE lifts the U visa cap to meet the need and makes the program more accessible to immigrant survivors. There are nearly 270,000 individuals with pending U visa cases, and these egregious delays subject survivors and their families to additional risks of violence, exploitation, manipulation, and trauma. WISE helps alleviate these risks and ensures that this program can meet the needs of survivors and offer a true path to safety. The bill also prevents deportation or detention of self-petitioners, T and U visa applicants, and special immigrant juveniles. Threats of deportation are one of the most potent tools abusers and perpetrators of crime use to maintain control over and silence immigrant survivors. Abusers and perpetrators leverage the immigration system against immigrant survivors who fear losing their job, being deported, or even separated from their children if they speak out. It is critical that we protect immigrant survivors from deportation or detention, which can only cause further harm and trauma.
Hi, I'm Patty Tototsitle, President and CEO of Esperanza United, formerly known as Casa de Esperanza and the National Latino Network, and I am another co-chair of the Alliance for Immigrant Survivors. WISE further addresses the lack of timely access to employment authorization for immigrant survivors. Without access to financial independence, survivors are more vulnerable and may endure the pain and trauma of returning to abusive relationships or face homelessness. This bill also allows those with pending immigration cases to be eligible for critical federal public benefits previously denied to them because of the 5-year ban. We must ensure that immigrant survivors have access to food, housing, healthcare, and childcare support that allow them to build a safe and healthy relationship for themselves and their children and recover from violence and trauma.
Support immigrant survivors of violence.
Support the WISE Act today.